Hey there, Ride the Car Guy here, and today we're gonna give 8-Ball a little bass. I cannot believe that I made it 10 years making Xterra content and haven't made a video on installing a subwoofer, so today's the day. And today we're making it very, very simple. I found a self-powered enclosed 8-inch subwoofer. I'm not 16 anymore. I don't need a huge amount of bass. I just need something more than what these door speakers can provide. I'll have a link in the description or in the products below for this exact unit, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide this under the seat, and I know for a fact that it fits. So I have this and a 600-watt amp install kit, so let's just open it up and get right to it. In your kit, you should have a power cable. If you got the 600-watt kit, it's a pretty small cable. I was thinking about putting it in the auxiliary fuse box up here, but I decided not to, and just in case I want to crank it up and make it a little louder, I'm not running it through where everything else is running. I'm going to run it direct to my battery. Plus, the wire that's in the kit already has an end on it that will fit over the post, and then it has an inline fuse. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect my inline fuse. I'm gonna put this in here, get that tightened down, and then I'm not going to connect it to the battery just yet, because obviously we don't want this end of the cable just floating around with power running to it. But I am gonna set the cable down here where I know I'm gonna have enough space to hook it up to the battery, and then we'll run it up across the back and into the cabin. Hooking these up is real simple. You just get your little weather protector thing here, slide it through, get it in there, cinch it down. All right, once it's down, you just take your cap, slide it over, and tighten it down. There you go. Done. Just do that on both sides. And then this side will be ready to go to the battery. Again, we're not doing it yet. And then we're going to run the rest of this cable around the back. Now, I know I already have 50 things going on over here, but you know, if you have 50, what's 51? So I'm just going to start running this back. I'm going to run it behind all these other cables here. And since we're going to the front seat, we don't really need a whole lot of length here, so I'm not too worried about making it. Normally, I would run it through this side and then go to the back of the vehicle, but again, it doesn't really matter. We'll have the length. I plan to get zip ties. A zip tie to this harness back here to make sure it's all tidied up. And then once you get it over here by the brake booster, you're gonna see a big giant grommet that you have a ton of space to cut into. I already have a hole cut into it, so of course I'm just gonna use that. But if you need to, you just use like a box cutter and very carefully push it through. There it is. Push through, and then I just go inside and grab it. Now that it's through the door, we're just gonna run it down here behind this kick panel, and we're actually gonna go right to where the seam in the carpet is. And so that's gonna allow us to get it underneath the seat. We have plenty of space. You'll see if I push my finger down, you can definitely get some cables underneath that without deforming the plastic. And then that's gonna be the entirety of our run. So that's why I'm so excited about this. Usually I run everything to the back of the vehicle, and so this is gonna be a lot easier. To get this sill off, you just pull up from the back. There you go, that'll pop out. Mine's been out 100 times, so it's pretty loose. Now you shouldn't have to pull off your other plate up here, your little kick plate. Should be able to run it down. Yep, just like that. There we go, perfect. And then I'm gonna flip back the carpet. There we go. And then next up, if we flip this back a little bit, the plastic, and then you'll see the cut in the carpet. Flip that up. And then just shove it underneath there, just like that, and go to the other side and grab it. Awesome. Get that in there, and then run it underneath the rest of the way. There. So that way it's nice and clean. Once you get your sill back on, you won't see that cable at all, right? Push that back in, perfect. So I'm gonna leave this all disconnected because we still have to get the RCA cables and the remote cable if we're gonna do that, and the remote power cable, and we need to also get it all to the subwoofer. So let's go do that. So please excuse the giant mess behind my radio. I have a lot going on up here. It's just a big old mess. If you want to know how to actually take the radio out the proper way, check out the video in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Mine no longer has the screw in place. Half the snaps are broken, so quite literally it just kind of sits like this. So I'm gonna pull it away, but normally you'd pop off this top tray. There's a screw underneath, and then you can pull it out. Now that that's exposed, I just have 4 screws. I gotta unscrew those, and then we can pull the radio away and plug in what we need to plug in. These are Phillips head. I feel like every time I take my radio out, I regret it. It's just always such a nightmare, but it's my fault, so it is what it is. All right, woo! There we go, beautiful. So on this particular one, we have one that says SW. See if you can see that, probably not. It's just the regular like RCA cables, the red and white. So here's our RCAs. I'm gonna use the blue one for the red and the silver one for the white. There we go. And then we need to find our remote cable. So for our remote cable, it's gonna be blue with a white stripe. This one's gonna look a little weird because I have a parking brake bypass on here, but I have a butt connector that's open on one side and then 2 cables on the other. But if you have just your amp, then just do the blue and white cable to the blue cable, push it in there, pinch it down. Very good. Put electrical tape on that if you feel worried about it. And then grab your RCA cables you just plugged in, along with your blue cable, find the other ends, and then start running them behind the dash. I can see, if I look to the left of the vent, I can already see the hole where it goes down to the footwell. So that's where I'm gonna put it. Run the rest of the slack out, because any slack that we have, we're just gonna put under the seat. I think that'll make it easier on me. I'm just gonna button this back up, get everything stuffed back in here, screw it in, and then we're just gonna run everything under the seat and plug it all in. As you go through this and run the cables underneath, be strategic about what they go over or under. You're gonna have opportunities to have them go over some things, like some other cables in here, and they can also go over top of the hood release, just like that. And now we just follow where we did the power cable. So shove them back here and get them underneath the seat. Flap that back again, get that carpet flipped back again. There we go. Run them underneath. All right, the last cable we need ran is the ground. And I'm just gonna flip this back here. Looks like there's some bracket here that has these 10mm bolts going into them. So we're just gonna kind of throw it right in there and tuck it up. I think that should be all right. I don't see why not. All right, just throw this around it. There we go. And that is a mount for the little sill here. So either get in front of or behind that. So probably just go behind it and then tighten it down. There we are. And then just like the other ones, shove it up in there and good. Now we're ready to wire up the sub. All right, so now we have everything that we need. There's our power, there's our ground, there's our remote, and there's our audio cables. Now for the audio cables, you're gonna have the longest amount of slack, or the most amount of slack. So I'm just gonna kind of tie those up, get a little zip tie going, and make sure those can be set aside. Same story with our remote cable. We have quite a bit. Again, I'm just gonna probably wrap that up. I'm not really gonna cut it down because I've already reused this kit once. This is the kit out of the Titan actually. So who knows if I'll use it again, right? So this part's real easy. Just grab your cables. Again, we use blue for the red. So blue for red and silver for white. Then we have our 3 power cables: power, remote, ground. So just grab your Phillips head, loosen that up, all 3 there, and put them in. This sub also comes with a remote power knob, if you will, that allows you to kind of increase the power from this remote little control box here, but I'm not really gonna use it. So I'm just gonna wrap it up. It does need to be plugged in. So you just plug it into the remote section here, and then I'm gonna plug it into the actual remote, and then just tie up the cable and stick it underneath. So now that that's plugged in and everything else is in, we're gonna go plug the power into the battery and then test it all before we tuck it under the seat. All right, we just have our 10mm here, nothing special. Just pop this off and then just throw it on top of this one. Very good. I'll find a place for this. I'll probably double-side sticky tape it somewhere. That worked pretty well when I did it in the Titan. So for now, I'm just gonna kind of tuck it away. We're just gonna test. Of course, if you don't have the auxiliary box up here, you can just stick it up there, just like that. Obviously, that's not gonna work for me, but let's just go make sure it works before we do anything else. All right, if we go in accessory mode to turn on the radio, we should see that power up. There we go. Oh, great. It's all lit up. And then just make sure that our subwoofer settings are correct on the radio, and then make sure it actually plays. All right, looks good. Can't play the audio because I don't want to have a copyright strike, but you'll see that it has a little lights that flash with the audio. So looking pretty good. Now we just need to push the seat forward, button everything up, and then I guess kind of find a way to have this not slide around. All right, I just took some double-sided sticky tape and I just stuck the remote to the side of it. And that way, if I want to adjust it, I can just come back here, turn it, and everything's fine. Luckily, there's a distinct dip in the floorboard because you have that foot vent that goes to the back. So you can actually just stuff all your cables underneath there. Then you can kind of get the subwoofer to sit flat across. So it will look something like this. We have it tucked up underneath. And I'm thinking I might get some Velcro, like basically just use the hard side of the Velcro, put it on the right side of the subwoofer so it doesn't slide around on that carpet. If I move the seat, you'll see that it's definitely a tight fit, but it doesn't hit, so we're good to go. Don't forget to button up everything up here. You wanna make sure that everything is gonna be zip tied underneath your footwell and of course up in your engine bay. All right, I gotta be honest, that was probably one of the easiest subwoofer installs I've ever done. I really like that it's sitting underneath the driver's seat and not, you know, somewhere randomly in the back in the cargo area. I ended up just tucking everything behind, basically underneath the fuse box, and then behind the nozzle for the windshield washer fluid, and then up around, of course, the back of the engine bay. So it's gonna work. My engine bay is not certainly not a showpiece. No one's really gonna be looking under the hood. Eventually, I'll do something about cable management in here, and when I do, you'll be the first to know. If you have any questions or comments, put them down in the comments below. Also, check down below for the products that we used in today's videos. Subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you in the next one.